Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 3, actually. It's a Week 3 playback. Like I said at the top of one of the last videos, we're starting these casts today at the end of the pick phase. Just going to give a very brief summary, very brief review of it. Um, Knocking out the Tiny, I think, very smart. Just gets rid of one of the bigger Cranberry Sprite heroes, I think. Um, Looks like they are actually, the Aqua team under Forcestaff philosophy here has been predominantly just get rid of Cranberry Sprites, sideline him so much that Mikkel is all you have to focus on here. They picked Mikkel out really, really early. I gotta say, uncomfortably early, and I don't know if they supported the Ursa pick that great. Um, some of the heroes here that followed up could really easily put a pretty big damper on them, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like they have quite enough to stop anything from happening here. I don't know. I haven't actually spoiled myself on what this last pick is going to be. Okay, Drow Ranger, yeah, that's not great for Ursa. Feels like, I don't know, Grim Adventures didn't really have a very cohesive strategy as far as those bands went, or the picks for that matter. They just kind of tried to ban out there just to, like maybe just that comfort, Aqua Teen Hunger Forcestaff coming at them, banning out Cranberry Sprite in particular, which I think ended up doing better for them. This is still by no means a bad lineup for ATHF, I don't think. It's going to be tough for us, so. Not impossible, but tough. The very least, you know, Centaur lanes pretty badly into him, but I do think Centaur as a counter to Ursa as a counter to Centaur specifically is something that can definitely backfire on you. He doesn't care at all about Retaliate, not even a little tiny little bit. But I will say one thing Ursa definitely does care a little bit about is a Centaur Stomp. Just a big, you know, 2.5 second stun is going to be able to potentially take out the any sort of offensive that Ursa makes on them.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Beat! Еще beat!
Honestly, I think it might not actually be the worst idea in the world, maybe, to change up the Aqua Teen Hunger Forcestaff lanes here. I think the Drow Ogre might actually do a little better into the Ursa Undying lane. You know, Drow can just eat the Tombstone, especially if any early Bloodlust levels go down in it. Drow can eat the Tombstone, early Pointing Gust just completely means Ursa's unable to do anything until like level 6, basically. So that could be definitely good against them. And on the other hand, it's like, Centaur into Mars is just like, who cares, no real interaction. Silencer into Mars, who cares, no real interaction there. The Hoodwink's gonna suck, but again, only really after 6, so... If I was ATHF, I'd definitely put some thought into switching out the lanes here. It's like ATHF was thinking about going deep there to try and get some first blood action going, but did not ultimately decide to do that. Just 3-for-1 trade. Grim Adventure's getting 3 of those, and they are not going to switch out the lanes here in any capacity. Drow to Mars and the Hoodwink, really, I don't think is going to have that bad a game. It's not the worst Drow lane in the world by any stretch of the imagination. Ogre's going to be hard for both these guys to deal with to any effective degree.
His brain is so big.
Oh, very cute.
And while the Centaur Stomp is going to be a major factor playing against Ursa this game, I don't really think Silencer has anything to offer against either of the people in this lane. He's certainly not going to beat Undying. You know, Undying is just going to kick the crap out of him. Okay, well, you know, see this taking place here. Yeah, PVC Pipe is going to just kind of take a casual full here. Take a very casual spill. Just get straight up right-clicked to death, basically. Just right-clicked and melted out by some of the Ogre skills. Not great. There's one big advantage in this, you know, as said. Drow really is not very threatened by this offlane in particular. Especially when you make consideration it is not somebody who's traditionally an offlaner in this role, so. Anyway, with that being said, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the cast. It's time for your roll call. Pause 1 for Aqua Teen Hunger Forcestaff. You've got Cheeseburger, who casted with us pretty recently on the Drow Ranger. Pause 2, you've got... This is number 1 Frank Stan, back in his more traditional role. Here on the on the OD. That will be a very interesting mid-choice. Pause 3, you've got... Kill and retaliation on Drow? Okay, how'd that happen? What happened here? Oh, Cheeseburger's just sticking around in this lane at literally no health at all for some reason. Could ever buy bonus to try and body block there, but I mean, Drow, like... there's a lot of ways for Drow to win this lane, but one of the ways it's not on the list is just randomly sticking around at like 10 HP. Get some Saz out here, homeboy. Anyway. Pause 3, you've got... also known as Red Moon on the Centaur Warrunner. Pause 4, Gotham himself, captain of the team. Meme Hammer Jamma on the Silencer. Better not be building a Meteor Hammer this game. That would be a very odd purchase. Pause 5, you've got bonus on the Ogre Magi. Other side of the coin, Grim Adventures of Boys and Matty. You've got Mickle on the Earth before. You know, I've never really mentioned this before, but I think maybe the most impressive sponsorship that we have in all of LD2L is Mickle as a sponsorship from a statesman who's been dead for like 300 years. Mickle on the Ursa. Pause 2, we have Cranberry Sprite on the Death Prophet. Pause 3, Tall Balls on the Mars. Pause 4, PVC Pipe on the Hoodwink. And pause 5, captain of the team, not pictured here, you've got Matty Boy on the Undying. So far, even though this is a pretty good lane against Centaur on paper, I do think Gotham has been good at being enough of a distraction that Centaur has just been kind of easily able to just get a bunch of last hits anyway. He's not really stopping Ursa to any significant degree. You know, Ursa is basically free farming out here, but... at very least, Centaur is also pretty much just free farming. Which is probably the best possible outcome of this lane, basically. Got a little bit of action in all 3 lanes. Let's get a quick replay on this. Bonus going quite deep into the weeds here. Looking for a kill on PVC Pipe, and he's going to go down, but kill is going to come back out. And again, this is the worst possible like exchange you can have, the worst possible trade you can have from the offlane. You know, your pause 4 gets a kill on the pause 5 and then dies to the pause 1 is not the best outcome. Centaur going to have a little bit of a spat here with the Undying. Interesting decision by Centaur to go all in on Retaliate levels, even though he knows for a fact he's going to be losing strength in this lane. Very interesting. I feel like the way you probably want to play is just go all the way in on Hoof Stomp. Just try to get the most you can done with that, plus the Silencer damage. Because you're going to be doing some baby damage with that E and that W. I have said in the past, and I do still stand by, you know, if you are going to go Retaliate, you usually do want to go all the way, so I understand why he's committing at least. Silence just showing up here to annoy Cranberry Sprite. No real hope in hell that there's going to be a kill here, but there's going to be enough that Cranberry's going to have to kind of casually walk away. Can we just, you know, we're just having so many fights in 3 lanes here. We Sleep Pipe once again, just getting casually right-clicked out. Drow does not get the kill this time, somewhat unfortunately, but probably not that big of a deal. Still gets the A for it if nothing else.
His brain is so...
now we wait. Matty Boy down here made a little bit of a rotation out to mid, getting a little hammered for it. We have a lot of interesting rotations here. It almost feels like we're having like a 5-minute lane phase. Silencer just says, free money just for me? Thanks, buddy. But, yep. Silencer just gets to eat a tombstone and then gets to eat some of Undying's end. That's really bad for Undying, actually. Undying losing any amount of int in this game is actually going to be a very noticeable negative impact on his performance. And when he spawns, he's going to go from 324 mana to 483. Okay, I think he's gotten something since he went down or something. Oh no, he just got... He was hit by the OD there, so he got stolen int back. Still, losing int. It's going to be a big deal on Undying, who is, for some reason, walking back to lane rather than TPing. A bit interesting. Guess he's thinking maybe I'm going to be needed at mid again very soon. Or he's just buying some time for Mikkel to get some solo EXP. Just gonna take out the bounties here. Again, just farm fest, just straight up, unabashed farm fest here at the top lane. Centaur needs to... Okay, he's just gonna stomp and TP. Alright. That'll show him. I thought that was going to be the site of our first Centaur ult during this game, but nope. He's not even going to drop that for these guys. Just straight up, just drops the hoof, says I'm done. Drops the hoof, drops the mic. Vanguard this game is... I mean, he definitely just has to disassemble that thing later if he's going to go on this. They have literally nothing that like goes well into. All of Mars' physical damage comes from abilities. All of Curse's physical damage comes from the Fury Swipes. All of Death Prophet's physical damage, which, you know, we saw a little bit of there, comes from abilities, so... The Vanguard blocks literally nothing except for zombie damage, that's it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And that is very small potatoes, frankly. I can tell you this much, I definitely would not, like, unless I was planning to get, not only get both Heart and Lotus Lord, but get them very early. I don't think I would go Vanguard at all this game on the Centaur. I think this game you just go for, I mean, I don't know, I don't think you go for, even though it's kind of heresy to say, I don't think you could go for any of the Ring of Health items, like, you just don't have anything that goes with those. Ring of Regen, rather. There's no place for the Vanguard. They don't really do enough magic damage for the pipe or the hood either. Like, maybe you get Eternal Shroud to get the refund on your W, maybe. That's like the best I got. And that's still not a very great situation. I don't know. I think this game, as sad as it is to say, maybe just get your items somewhere else. Or, you know, I guess, hell, you know, here's what you do. You just start off just going straight into Perseverance, taking into something else. Most likely Lotus Lord. You got a few interesting things to get rid of with that, even if they don't have anything at all to reflect. Except Soul Ramp, as much as that's worth.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Centaur's gonna come out here to try and ensure a kill on Cranberry Sprite. Likely a guarantee anyway. That's okay. Centaur just gonna keep casually pushing out here. A little bit of a go on bonus here. Gets eaten by the Ursa here in the middle of the jungle. Can tell you this much. Right after Centaur finishes this Blink Dagger, it's time to start working on this Halberd. Like, this is a very, very large Halberd game. This team has no chance if you have one, basically. First, it can't hit you for a certain amount of time, then just gonna get completely decimated by Drow in the time it takes for him to actually be able to come back into a fight. Got a bit of an interesting go here. That's a good global. Just totally stops any hope of retaliation from the supports here. Ogre Magi gonna get bullied by the Death Prophet here. Centaur Stomp here, very big. 2 stuns there, guarantee 2 more kills, guarantee 2 more insteals on Silencer. 10 stolen ent, pretty good. The weird laws of Sanity's Eclipse mean that any stolen ent on Silencer's part is going to make OD just a much fiercer opponent to deal with, you know? If it gets to the point where he can just casually drop Sanity's Eclipse on you, just very easily, just because your mana pool is so small, right? That is not a great position to be in. Everybody in the world looking at Mars here. Just trying to get himself a little bit of money. Gonna find OD here. Gonna send him to jail the moment that he starts trying to get out. Meteor Hammer is going to fall, sealing the Mars's fate.
I'm not always oblique.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Another bit of stolen int for the Silencer. Really not great news for Mars, especially considering he didn't go for the Soul Ring this game. You know, next time he comes up, he's gonna start, like, having legitimate issues at this rate. Actually having enough mana to Spear and Arena with any kind of consistency. Especially if he picks up any kind of defensive items like...
tower is under attack.
You know, another death or two, and he's really not gonna have enough mana to drop ult and throw a spear and hit BKB, especially as these skills level up and get more expensive. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Sounds like going for a Veil of Discord here. Kind of a rare item this season, I feel like. It's very interesting. The Silencer just looking to be as oppressive of a force as possible. Death Prophet tries to send out the courier to Secret Shop. Realize that's tantamount to suicide. At this point, you might as well send the courier to the enemy Secret Shop. It's actually got a much likelier chance of going through over there. Just one use of Silencer's abilities is left Hoodwink with a mere 200 HP left. And Hoodwink just gets to ult absolutely nothing here as ATHF just flees the scene. With a net worth chart so you can see Drow Ranger is just in the lead right now. Not a great surprise. Has been just very freely farming this entire time, and while so is Ursa, Drow has definitely got more of an ability to farm out here. Ursa's actually gone for Diffie here. He wants to try and get some early fights in. Gotta smoke out. Taking a look at OD here, who's just going to put Ursa in jail to the surprise of absolutely nobody, perhaps. Arena comes out, really only gets one, just gets the Silencer after the global silence is already gone. Doesn't mean that much. Very ambitious attempt at TP there from Bonus, does not play out. Ursa's a bit, okay, awkwardly timed silence does not prevent the ult from coming out, but he's still dead. Mickle went way too far there looking for that kill. And then he gets tipped. Death Prophet rolls in to smell what happened, but that's all she can do. Centaur is working on that halberd now, not a bad idea. It definitely feels like if they're able to get the halberd out on Mickle before he is able to do anything about it, or after he's able to do anything about it. If they get the halberd out on Mickle, the amount of time that they have free, where Drav's going to be able to clean people up, it's just really hard to see what the hell else they do in that time. I mean, Exo's good, but it's not going to win you a team fight on its own merits. And they really don't have anything to do in the arena outside of just press you in Ursa's face. So really, this whole team is just very dependent on Ursa being able to freely run around and eat people, and the Halberd can definitely make that a big issue. Death Prophet got the DD here. Double damage for those snowballs.
What a bounty!
I was gonna casually walk into Mars here. It's not gonna do anything to him, but he's gonna steal his camp, which is kind of funny. Just tags in. Drow has rushed the hell out of the Ags here. It's kind of interesting. It's not a very traditional build for Drow, I must say. I think in this game, you can be so confident that you're going to be generally out damaging the enemy team that I do think something like that's not going to be a bad investment, especially if there's follow-up on it before Drow really starts fighting. Getting it first, that is the interesting bit. Like, I don't really see what merit that's going to have to that.
Radiant's bottom
I'm gonna let her do some giant stacks though, so I guess that would probably be it. But you know, you can always kind of do that with Marksman, can't you? I guess this is more efficient this way. It's making Drow very bootleg Medusa. Bit of a go going on here. This is a well-timed global silence. It's gonna pretty much prevent anything more from happening here. Death Prophet is gonna dodge! Gonna dodge Sanity's Eclipse with the Yule Scepter there. Very well done. Our Ranger's gonna take a look at this. Get the kill out on the Death Prophet. Unfortunately not in time for Gotham to seek its event, but you know. Lots of jungle items falling down, lots of daggers of Restool. Aqua Hunger another pause. Aqua Hunger Forcestaff playing this out very aggressively. Way more aggressively than Mars expects him to play, that much is certain. Just gets cut here. Right under the shadow of his T2.
And that sharp pain you felt was my intellect.
Which I mean, I don't know how much that means really in this particular game. Like,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mars is pretty much a third support in this game, and that's all he was ever going to be. I guess hypothetically you could have had some crazy like right-click Mars, some like big giant shield bash Mars. There's some other weird gimmick build for him, but I mean that would require him taking a lot of farm from Ursa, and that is just simply not a good idea. It would also require him taking a lot of farm from Death Prophet, which I mean I don't even really think that's possible. Gotham is going to be punished for his total lack of any kind of defensive items, just get completely clowned out by the Death Prophet. Centaur Warrunner is actually going to pop ult, both to help him and to help General Retreat at the top T2. Very well timed Stampede. Mars just barely whiffs out on the spear on OD, who has met with his courier at mid to pick up a BKB, which is going to mean now we've got one person who can, if he's not outright stunned, can just walk out of the arena, and they really do not have a lot of stuns to make him stand still. Okay, Matty Boy is just AFK. And now he's going to die. Goodbye, Matty Boy. No crowd shall cheer his name. Very sad if you think about it. I do gotta say, I don't know if I'm 100% down with Gotham being the one trying to be the split push god on this lineup. I feel like this probably works better if you have, like, maybe Centaur doing it when he has his ult up. Because, you know, Centaur is not gonna steal in from people if they die around him, you know? He's a big part of the sort of front line on this team, so I do kind of see it. But Drow picks up Aegis. She has a Yasha to match her eggs now. It'll just kind of blow that they have smoke going out here. Hoodwink stands right on the stairs to make absolute sure the smoke gang can't hit on Ursa, but the smoke gang's gonna go nowhere. ATHF just kind of using it to stand around waiting for the creep wave to push up mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're also gonna curse this creep wave.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Well, silence coming out to stop Centaur from being able to be knocked down here as Undying just very casually dies, has to buy back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We're being kind of an awkward spot, but Drow Ranger coming in from behind to make sure nothing's happening. Cranberry Sprite going to completely eat it here. Support line on ATHF is going to go down, but it's looking increasingly unlikely it's going to be more than that. This is a good position for Drow to be in. Hoodwink just walks into a multi-shot and dies. This is going to be able to chase out. Okay! This is almost assuredly a double death for Drow Ranger. ATHF is trying to come in and save in some method, but yeah, just cannot get there fast enough.
His brain is so big.
The only survivor on ATHF is Hodi, so for everything they get with Aegis, what do they really get? They get Cranberry Sprite once, so they get the Death Prophet, they get the Undying, and they get the Hoodwink. That is all they find for the Aegis push here.
Radiant's
That
middle
ain't great.
tower is under attack.
I do think a lot of that was kind of disorganization. Didn't seem like there was any kind of natural flow on the retreat there. Just kind of people walking, people just right-click fountain, and that's it. That's the plan. Bodhi positioning himself, trying to make it such a way that he can fire into the arena, not take any hits himself. Good. Drow Ranger multi-shots into the Ursa ult, and as a result dies. Okay, that's another Drow Ranger, very casual death. In a very short time span, which is not good. Drow needs to finish up a Hurricane Pike as soon as possible. Yep, is now going for it. Needs to finish up a Hurricane Pike, or at least a Forcestaff, as soon as humanly possible, to just not let that happen. Because it seems like Ogre Magi is going to build some defensive items, but... Okay, Silencer is now as well. Okay, there we go. So it is actually a little bit less pressing than I thought. I was assuming Gotham was never going to buy any defensive items this game. A string of major defeats on ATHF's part have now turned the gold advantage towards the Dire for the first time in the entire game. Up only a very small amount of money, but you can see the way the chart just suddenly drops like this.
For the record, I did hit the tree.
A lucky find.
A lucky find. Tarv's not gonna be not gonna brave trying to take the outpost here. Or just not thinking about that right now, I guess. Albert is out now, which is going to make Ursa quite a bit less threatening in these fights. Gonna make fights in general just a lot harder for this team to take. Like, I really just... I don't know what happens in these fights if Ursa just has to spend a lot of uptime sitting there disarmed. Like, I just don't see any other, like, I don't see how they win. So far, it feels like he's been such a dramatic majority of this damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, so not used for this bot T2 push. The disappearance of everybody on ATHF on the map kind of panicked out Cranberry there, but it seems like the strategy of what do we do with this time span, or the strategy rather of what ATHF is doing with this disappearance is not really much. Kind of everybody again just kind of standing around mid waiting to go. I don't know.
Gold and sweet.
Again, it feels like there's not really, there's shot calling going on certainly, so it's not like a rankings of a scrub tier communication issue, but it does feel like there's not really any sort of cohesive strategy in mind for ATHF at the moment, and that much is evident in just how much kind of dead air is going on in their strategy. Like, how much of this game involves several people standing around waiting for something to happen that doesn't, Smoke Gang's gonna come out here. It's gonna be broken as Matty walks into everybody. Silencer just walks into the whole crowd before hitting ult here. They're gonna try and stay with the Centaur ult, but getting nothing done for it basically. Now Centaur's in a real awkward spot. He's actually gonna have to TP because he just blinked right into a tree trap. So Ranger coming in from the back here. Some shots on the back of Mars' head, but that's really all that's getting done in this particular fight. They're going very deep to try and get the Drow out here. Drow Forcestaffs the wrong way, slams her face in the arena and dies. Well, that's embarrassing. Execution factor here from ATHF just does not seem very good so far. It feels like a lot of these disasters are very preventable. Like, Matty Boy gets caught breaking smoke here. Gotham's response is to try and tank the smoke gank. They drop a lot, including a life. The Stampede and the life to try and get Silencer out of the smoke gank. And he shouldn't be tanking it anyway. If anybody should be tanking smoke ganks on this team, it's definitely the Ogre. But, Gotham tanks the gank, gets his global silence up before he dies, so there's that at least, but nothing comes out of it. Centaur's stuck in the trees. I mean, Drow slams her face in the arena and dies. I mean, everything just seems to be coming up wrong here so far for this lineup. And there's certainly now, that Hurricane Bike is definitely back on the menu for Drow. It seems like the supports are dying just so quickly, so early on. She definitely needs that. The Forcestaff alone is not going to be good. She needs to push Ursa away. It is not enough to get her out of the way. Ursa also needs to go. Death Bravo picks up a haste here to abscond from this area.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, coming out here. ATHF. Little gonna get the hell out of dodge as it's immediately broken.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Definitely feel like so far, outside of maybe the farming element of it, if Cheeseburger particularly likes it, this Ags Rush Drow thing is not working out at all for her. It feels like her entire contribution to virtually every fight in this game so far has been throw a multi-shot, right-click fountain. Has not really had the time or ability to actually contribute much more than that. Centaur is unfortunately going to disarm Ursa in the middle of his ult, so it's going to be immediately ruined. The Ranger once again in this awkward spot, though. Ogre Magi is going to be able to help kite this. And yeah, Ursa just lost a godlike to Drow Ranger. Uh-oh.
One less enemy now.
Good spear by Mars. Just waits for the exact moment everybody lines up and throws. So, well, the first real halberd of the game didn't really accomplish anything. Ursa did just kind of, I think, get a little too greedy, go a little too deep there. looking for Drow, which in fairness would have been a very decisive kill. I think if Drow just dies again in that fight, I do think it's just high ground push there. Fight is going to kind of continue here. Gonna try and chase out these guys. But BKB there on Cranberry Sprite, 8 seconds, is going to make sure that nothing more is going to come out of this. Cheeseburger goes fishing for a hoodwink and finds it.
Such as tomorrow.
Finishes out the BKB here, which is going to, at the very least, prevent that Ursa Diffusal Blade from just killing her over and over in every fight. Everybody on ATHF walks out of the Roche pit, even though he's up in 20 seconds. Very sad.
Dire are scanning.
Even sadder than that, perhaps, is the fact that Roche is going to be up, well, for Aqua and Hunger Force anyway, is the fact that Roche is going to be up literally the moment that Ursa comes up. Ogre Shield Totem
Radiant's
from
bottom
dying.
tower is under attack.
This is getting real bad for Death Prophet real fast. This Salt seems a little unnecessary. Especially considering she was already in jail when that happened. Blink coming out on OD to make sure they don't need to awkwardly chase that out anymore.
Radiant are scanning.
Now it's Radiant's turn to scan out Roche. They find nothing in there. Without DP, they really don't have much of a pressing ability to contest this. Ursa just very slowly taking out some camps here. He is at the top of the net worth chart, so Drow not very far behind. "30 seconds to Death Prophet." I think there's some debate going on. Should we try to take Roche here, just deny it to Ursa? The answer, it seems, ultimately is no. They don't seem to think they can get it by the time Exer comes back up. Which again just kind of shows almost the awkwardness of the ATHF gameplay in this particular game. Just takes them so long to come to that decision, and now they're gonna get a little bit more confidence in going back to it after squashing Matty Boy like a bug. And indeed, it is down by the time Death Prophet's able to show up. Marv gets an arena off the support line. Takes his Aegis, throws a multi-shot into the arena. It does about as much damage into it as anybody did on Mars' team during it, but it does not look like it's gonna matter much. Shintar Warrunner hits the ult for Drow to get the hell out of town. They're gonna try and pick off the hoodwink on the side here during this retreat.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Got the Scepter here out, and that's gonna spell dead Drow.
People say I talk too much. Who said you could stroll the line?
Earth is now going to take their ancients. So yeah, that wasn't good. I think
Radiant's middle
I don't know.
tower is
That
under
just
attack.
went so badly for them. I think the decision to wait when Death Prophet was up and go when the Undying, or wait when Death Prophet was down and go when Undying was down. I feel like it's just a little backwards though. I don't know. We're just gonna get disarmed. Just has to run away from this T2 here. Lots of firepower coming down on ATHF here. Gonna lead to the death of the fleet here. Really just, I don't know. I don't think that was a very good fight for the ATHF lineup to take. For some reason.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
3C5 gonna just stick around this area just a little too long. Waste some time with the eels.
I must have them all.
Actually, might just get out thanks to the eels, actually. She's so fast, I can't catch her. Seems very light. I mean, it's not light on the CC, but it's very concentrated on the CC. It all tends to come out at basically the same moment.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Death tax.
Game slows to a halt here. As while the Grim Adventure is currently holding the advantage, they do not seem like they're confident that they can finish out things at this point, which I would definitely agree with. It's going to be hard for Matty Boy's team to finish out at any point in this game, actually. I feel like they're walking into some very formidable high ground pushes here. Feels like if they don't get Aegis, they really don't have a shot to end the thing. Damage on top. ATHF turtling here, but Grim Adventures are not actually making any significant attempt to even really think about high ground right now, so. Gotham is kind of walking up on this. It's gonna randomly curse the She's randomly gonna curse Death Prophet for no reason and then drop Veil on.
Radiant
They get tipped. Kind of pushing out here. So does not actually get to ult before the disarm comes out. Death Prophet jumps in front of everyone and then gets global silence. BKB is going to allow her to exo anyway, and Gotham's going to go down. And the support line is immediately taking the fall down. Marv's going to go down, but it really doesn't matter that much. He's already, you know, used the arena, right? And Ursa is just going to eat Drow like a snack. Ooh, Drow's actually going to get right out of town there. Some pretty nasty damage on the other side. Mikkel's got a bridge too far, it feels like. He has a Satanic, which is going to keep him living for a minute here, but he's down. And did he die back or something? That's a very long spawn timer. Did not see a point at which Mikkel bought back, but boy, he's down forever. Just because he's 25 at this point. So again, Ursa ends up dropping the kill here. Does not actually go down to Drow here. Actually dies to the Silencer, who's working on his Ags here. Wants that big last word AoE, but still just gave a lot of XP and a pretty decent chunk of change here. She didn't personally get the kill to the Drow Ranger here. He's going to respond to Ursa's lack of life by just bowling down here at the mid lane. He's going to try and turbo push us out. You do have a glyph. We're going to use now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Budwin gets an Aeon desk. ATHF making a major retreat from this area, just running all the way back to their own side of the river here. Crying around the Roche pit a little bit, but yeah. have absolutely no intention to be anywhere close to Ursa when he's up.
Thank you, my beauties.
Shura's at this point starting to look like she can definitely be a very major damage dealer in this game. Has the shard, has the hurricane pike, has the manta style. So she does have responses to most things in the Ursa bag of tricks. The only thing she really can't deal with is if Ursa closes and drops the abyssal blade on her head. But that's it. Mars just finished out an AC. Which, I mean, is going to be decent. It's going to be mostly good for getting Ursa to attack a little bit faster when his W is down. And break some armor on these towers. Break armor for the EXO. Ursa is going to storm past Roche. Is going to storm into the pit here. 10 seconds till this guy's up. ATHF. Mostly in, not a turtle formation, but definitely very defensive right about now. Roche has just popped up. They're looking to maybe just invade, triangle here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's gonna come at the price of some pain. Undying is going to go down basically immediately. Arena's gonna come out, but all they could possibly get in this arena is just the Ogre Magi, which is very low value. And Death Prophet's gonna go to jail right in front of Drow Ranger, but Death Prophet has some kind of status resist going on right now, so just got out of that jail really fast. Not really sure why she has status resist exactly, but she does. Oh, it's on the Titan Sliver, okay. Yep.
Radiant's top
Prophet has that
tower
Titan
is under
Sliver,
attack.
which just means she gets to live. Roche gets to die. Ursa finally gets to do Roche, just like he's always wanted. Death Prophet. No, they're not going to go for a second EXO, they're going to go for a second
Dire's
arena.
bottom tower is under attack.
I was meant to have this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Death Prophet, take a few hits here. Trying to go for the T3s. Ursa's behind T4s himself. He's gotten quite deep here, now has to just beat a retreat. Matty Boy dies almost immediately here. Ursa does get ult off in time to avoid the meteor strike. Death Prophet, I don't know if Death Prophet meant to eat the cheese there, but she did. Gonna go down here. First life for Ursa. Who is just going to just get the hell out of town as fast as he possibly can. ATHF declined to chase for the most part. Okay. A little bit of a chase here, but they come out just a little too late. It's just Ogre basically, so instead they're gonna walk right down mid. Which is not a plan, unfortunately, for them that has much of a future. As the Death Prophet is coming up very quickly, though she will be coming out without EXO. Well, only for the next 25 seconds, so we basically got 25 seconds to just total this tower.
Dire's
See if it
middle
goes
tower
down like
is under
that.
attack. Dire's
Glyph comes out. Glyph actually kind of getting a little wasted here by the Meteor Hammer. Just stops it from knocking out the creep wave. Ursa goes all in on Drow Ranger, who gets to take a trip to OD jail. Global Silence, very well timed. It's going to cause the death of Matty Boy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Uh-oh. And Drow going to OD jail. Okay, Mikkel is really low. Mikkel's way lower than he thinks he is, maybe. And he's dead.
Dire's middle
Does buy. Lots of buys coming out, actually.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
They're gonna save the racks. I'm gonna say it is starting to feel a little bit like a matter of time for this lineup. Ursa is exactly as scary as he's ever gonna be. It's down to his 6-second BKB. The only thing he's got left is the Ags and Rage, which is very good, don't get me wrong. Does have a decent chance to turn a bit of a tide here, but that's all he's got left. And so at this point, if he's just kind of not winning the fights with Drow, if he can't win the fight unless Drow dies immediately, and the OD Ags here is going to, not the OD Ags, but the OD Shard here, is going to make that very difficult for them to do. I don't know. It feels like Ursa has to start every fight by killing 3 people at the same time, or else nothing happens. And his other cores are starting to really fall off. Like, nobody, you know, even when Death Prophet has been really good, nobody has ever accused her of being the best scaling hero in the game, nor have they OD, in fairness. Feels like Mars is starting to fall out of the world, while Centaur Warrunner actually still has some places to go here. And even though Centaur Warrunner has a Abyssal Blade queued, he's going to make a Crimson Guard. Huh? Okay. I really do not understand the Crimson Guard. Maybe he believes that the Crimson Guard shots block ghosts. They don't. I kind of wish they did, but they don't. The very second the Grim Adventures line up makes threatening overtures at ATHF, they are immediately behind their towers. Because, you know, a nice 30-minute game would be too much to ask, I think. Very Super Turtle, even though nobody's actually here for ATHF, or not for ATHF, nobody's actually here for Grim Adventures, still very Turtle-tastic formation. Centaur Warren are trying to beat bait. Nobody's gonna take, because they're all going top. Looking to come down, strike this line without a T3 at it. Hey, it's a new Gotham statue. I think a very literally new Gotham statue, because I don't believe this was here when we recorded his Week 4 game. I think this is like modern, like it uses your current statue, so there you go. It is not Terrorblade sitting there with his little things asking you to ride bikes. Cody just dropping charges of Astral Imprisonment here. Does he have Astral Imprisonment charges, actually? I'm not really sure. Oh, it's on his Zags. Okay, I can't read. Sorry, everybody. probably mostly bought that for the defensive element, just being able to just chain imprison the drow. Grim Adventure is looking for a clean kill here on the Centaur Warrunner. Getting very chased out. Undying gonna just take a casual spill here. Podwin gonna take a casual spill here. This is looking very bad at this point for Grim Adventures. They didn't lose any cores, sure, but now they're gonna have to defend this set of racks 2 men down. 2 less things that ATHF would possibly hit rather than Ursa, basically.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Rack goes
Dire's
down.
middle barracks has fallen.
Rack goes down.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
ATHF moves up top lane, trying to equalize on the T3 that they've lost while the support line is down forever.
Has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack.
PVC Pipe refused to save her buyback, very sad.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
And ATHF, happy with their racks, just get the hell back. They're now likely going to be headed to the Roche pit here. Yep. Dire scan out the Roche attempt just in time. Free Ag Scepter falls on the ground here. Centaur Warrunner picks it up and is going to be using it here. It's actually not a bad Centaur Warrunner Ags game, so it's not a bad find.
Quickly I gallop.
It's going to be very difficult for them to actually like kill Drow in the cart, basically, especially Ursa, who's the the major factor that they got to deal with anyway. They can just put Drow in the Centaur Mobile, and then she's basically fine. 2 giant circles being drawn on the map here by either Centaur Warrunner or Mars, who are basically the same color. ATHF likely looking to just simply move forward and end this game. Looking to take out the T2 bot, likely to just try and get themselves some megas. Drow being dragged forward by Centaur Warrunner.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I like how Drow has a Paladin sword just sitting in her stash.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Centaur Warrunner is going to scare the bejesus out of the support line.
Dire's bottom barracks
Arena
is
drops,
under attack.
doesn't really do anything but evoke some BKBs. Bonus is going to just take a very nice little spill here. I like that. Drow gets force-staffed forward by somebody and then just force-staffs right back. Uses the Manta style to unintentionally get out of the cart. Rack's going down, even with everybody up. Feels like Grim Adventures really can't make any serious dent on this team. Best Prophet put in jail. First life comes out for Drow. He's just going to immediately start hammering away at Death Prophet here. This fight has been super long, and it's not ended in ATHF's favor, which means, yes, ladies and gentlemen, yet again, we have another situation where there's a very doomed Mega Creeps defense. Allow me to save you the time. They're going to buy back to try and make this fight happen. We're gonna very casually knock out Drow here. Marv dies, buys back, goes for the silencer. See this fight, at the very least. At some point, Grim Adventures did strike out during this time and get a couple of lanes here. Got some buybacks coming out. Part of Drow Ranger on the part of Silencer. Ursa is actually going to be in a bit of trouble here. Well, they can't find him in the invis from his trickster cloak, so he's just gonna get away. He popped the dust here, but it is just super late at this point.
Death tax.
T5 jungle items dropping. Mostly unsurprisingly for the rating here.
I was meant to have this.
The Ags is finished on Earth, so he's also got himself a Swift Blink. Kentar decided to try and break this line with a Assault Cuirass. Enemy base gets basically entirely pushed in. Why are they leaving this fallen sky on the ground?
Fatality.
Their free Ags comes down, but I believe, yeah, basically everyone already has Ags on this lineup, so only Ogre can actually get it here. So now he has the funny fire shield. Rep to the, oh no, he already has the funny fire shield, he just got his unrefined fire blast, there we go. The button that you control yourself with if you use it at the beginning of the fight. Matty Boy getting the hell out of dodge, trying to avoid the centaur stomp there.
Dire's courier has been killed.
They get Mikkel's courier. I believe he's trying to build Divine Rapier here. No, he's trying to build MKB. Not sure who he's going to replace for it. Maybe Diffie. Looking to deal with the Drow Ranger Butterfly, which has come up since their last push. I'm not really sure what ATHF think they're waiting for at this point. All A is pushed into their base, or at least as pushed as they're gonna get. I got the Aegis, I got the cheese. Unless you just want me to suffer, there is basically no reason to be waiting at this point. Unless they really think that there's gonna be like some smoke gank out of base for the enemy team or something.
Dire's courier has
Okay,
been
there's your
killed.
answer. They're waiting for the sheep stick on OD's part. Maybe? Looking for a rune. Tell me they're not just gonna wait here and fish for a DD or something, right? Like, good God almighty. Centaur attempting to try some illusion trickery here. It's not quite as successful as when Kid Dynamite did it.
Dire's middle tower is under
T4 finally goes
Dire's
down. Global
middle tower
silence.
has fallen.
It's going to
Dire's
stop any
structures
immediate retribution here. Arena comes out, everyone just hits BKB, walks out. Odie putting the card here. Just going to wipe Eartha clean off the face of the earth. This game is over. Unless Cranberry Spray can somehow not have that happen to him. Unless he can go back in time and prevent himself from being just completely clapped there. He's done. Second arena coming down from Mars. Is not going to do anything. And finally, after 65 minutes, Aegis is going to blow. ATHF taking the Duke. In conclusion to yet another doomed Mega Creeps defense. I mean, really the best thing I could say to this is it's pretty much just the natural result of what I said at the start of the game. It's like Ursa didn't really get protected out with his bans, got picked very early. The Drow came out for a counter, the Silencer came out for counter. Had a lot of counters levied at the Ursa's face, and even though he did play around it well and get scary, it just didn't matter in the end. Eventually, you can only have the perfect fight against Drow so many times before the game has to end, and, if they had won really early on, I think, like, if they had just gone crazy balls to the wall, like lightning offensive, then maybe they had a chance here, but I don't know. Feels like, unfortunately, this is one of those 60-minute games that was decided in draft. Hopefully we can get something a little bit less cursed than this next time.